Hello. Welcome to episode 79 of the Nearly Men Video Games Podcast, coming to you live on Twitch from Scotland on Thursday, 21st of January 2021. I am Colin Little, and joining me today is Paul Kaczynski.
Hello.
And Blunderboy.
Ooh.
Together, we are the Nearly Men. We've nothing to do with the video games industry. We don't make them. We don't sell them. We're not even particularly good at them. We are the Nearly Men, and at some point, you have probably kicked our asses online.
Who? Your asses?
All of the asses. All of the asses
same time
have been kicked.
It's a lot of asses.
There's multiple jokes in there, but we will move past that.
Family friendly podcast.
How are we doing? How are we doing, gentlemen?
Not
Beautiful.
bad, not bad.
Beautiful. How are you,
Good.
Colin?
I'm good, thank you. I see discussions of the lovely stash there in the chat for Blunderboy, but I gave the beard a bit of a tidy up.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't have done it if I didn't know that I was presenting, and I only found out I was presenting because I only checked the script a few hours ago and thought, oh, I better shave. Better give it a bit of a tidy. So I'm feeling fresh and clean, number one chick when I step out in the scene. So, you know, pretty.
You look good, mate. Look good. I'd like to think you're just looking at yourself at the moment. I'd like to think you're just staring at a video of yourself rather than looking at us and the script and things. You're just looking at a video of yourself.
I don't think anybody is under any illusion that I'm doing anything other than that.
Oh, good.
Let's be honest.
Colin's note for tonight. What's a script?
Yeah, exactly. So Blunderboy, how you doing?
I am not bad. Keeping busy.
Not bad. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Kaczynski's doing all right as well. Lovely to see so many of you.
Thanks for
lovely
deciding.
Out there.
You are okay, and you will like it.
Yes, I do.
You already said you were okay, Kaczynski.
And if you're not okay, it doesn't matter.
Well, exactly. I don't really care. You know,
Charming.
It's fine.
Charming.
It's podcast night. How could we be anything but not okay?
Exactly.
Exactly. And it's lovely to see so many in the chat. And of course, we've got all our lovely listeners out there on iTunes and Spotify who will hear us in their ear holes very soon in a sort of time warpy thing where it's Thursday night, but they'll hear us a little bit later and ad infinitum. Is that right? I think that's right.
They're in the future.
Or ad nauseum, perhaps. But
is that because time travels?
Yeah, that's, I mean, kind of makes us time travelers, but also kind of makes the listeners time travelers because they travel back in time to hear our relevant points.
It's easier to go back than it is to go forward.
It is.
Deep.
Yeah. Anyway, it's lovely to see you all. Thank you very much for joining us, for listening in, and of course, all you lovely people that have been in touch with us as well. If you haven't yet, there is a way to get in touch with us, and here is how you do it.
Reaching the Nearly Men is easier than ever. Search for the Nearly Men Video Games Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or your preferred podcast player. We stream on Twitch. Follow Colin at Colin_NM. Follow Paul at Paul Kaczynski, all one word. Follow Gary at Blunderboy87. And let's get social on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram where we are at Nearly Men, or go old school and email us on info@thenearlymen.com. Need all that again? Links are on our website, thenearlymen.com. So what are you waiting for?
Yeah. So what are you waiting for? It's very nice that you didn't actually, you were hearing the lovely voice of the wee Maverick there doing that voiceover, and you didn't actually hear expert head of technical Paul Kaczynski punching his mic for the umpteenth time.
Actually smashed it with my mug. I almost broke my mug off my mic. It was that bad.
It was
I was
quite,
what?
quite the clatter.
Sorry, guys. Hopeless.
Anyway, do you know what? We're going to try and get ourselves moving and reduce some of the spraff and just get on with the
look who's talking.
The 100% pure squeezed Nearly Men. That sounds weird.
That's so wrong, man.
we have got some news. There we go. I didn't know if it was coming. I'm glad.
It's always there, baby.
We've got some exciting news from the Capcom side of town tonight. Tonight, Capcom are having a Resident Evil showcase event. That is tonight, 21st of January at 10 p.m. GMT. So that, as we're recording, that's less than 2 hours away. It's going to be packed with trailers, gameplay footage of Resident Evil 8: The Village, and possibly even more stuff as well. A lot of Twitch streamers had to apply for stream keys to actually broadcast it, and a number of big Resident Evil streamers missed out and are very irritated about it. Now, I know what you're thinking out there. You're thinking, well, surely the Nearly Men are streaming it. No, we're not. You know, we didn't get a code either.
Well, do you know, I'll tell you why. Even if we did get a code, the problem is the one person who should have been streaming it would be Blunderboy.
Mm-hmm.
And Blunderboy doesn't want to see it.
It's true.
He's absolutely useless.
It's so interesting, isn't it? It's just gorgeous as I shield my eyes from anything and plug my ears and just like, wonderful, guys, enjoy.
And of course, if Paul and I did it, well, Paul would be hiding under a blanket most of the time, afraid. And I'd be like, oh, he looks a bit like the guy from the cover of that game. One of them, because I haven't played it. Don't recognise him from the one I have played.
Was a Resident Evil one, Colin? It was a Resident Evil one.
And now you're dying in that insight. I hear them.
I mean, if it's a
direct
sequel to Resident Evil 7, I'd know that quite well. And I now, thanks to the replays, know the remakes, know 2 and 3 quite well. And I know 1 to a sort of standard, but I've never played 4, I've never played 5, never played 6, never played what's the other one called? The one in the ship. The one in the ship.
Revelation. There's Revelations 1 and 2.
Oh,
there's Veronica X, there's Zero, there's the Outbreaks, there's everything. There's so many.
Umbrella Chronicles, or is that a TV show?
Yeah, no, that was in the Wii and the PS3. It's a light gun shooter.
See, I know some of this stuff, but not enough. Okay, so Blunderboy, you don't want to know an awful lot about it, but I want you to put yourself in the shoes of somebody who would want to see it. You know, like a normal fan who's not weird like you. What would you be if you were like that and a normal fan? What would you want to see tonight?
So I know what they're going to be seeing for Village is they're going to be showing the first gameplay trailer. So actual gameplay. They're going to be showing off a couple of the new creatures and some of the main characters, and that's why I'm veering away, because, I mean, I remember back in the day getting, like, PlayStation Magazine and reading it, and you got glimpses of things, but you never really... See, because it was in action, you can really gain a lot of information. I think when you watch these things, it gives away a bit too much for my liking. So they're definitely showing all that. But the most exciting thing for me, and the thing I don't mind hearing about, is the other releases they're going to be talking about. There was a beta to apply for the end of this month, and it's a 46-person online Resident Evil game. Now, part of me's hoping it's a new part of the Outbreak series, which was like everyday people escaping Raccoon City. So hopefully they're going back and revisiting that and putting that out there, because I don't think it's an update to Resistance that came with Resident Evil 3, because that's only that's a 5-man, but it's 4v1. This one seems to be 46-player co-op the whole time, so I'm like, that could be good. They seem to be listening to fans a bit more lately. I'd be hoping there'd be a Revelations 3 being announced, and I'm hoping there'd be more information on the TV show, not the live-action movie or TV show, but the one with Leon and Claire, the CGI TV show coming to Netflix. So that's what I'd be hoping for as a fan. As I said, I was talking to MJ Play Games earlier during her stream, and she was like, "Do you not want to know anything?" I was like, I don't want to know anything about Village, but hearing titles of the possible new games that are coming out, I don't mind that. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because then I can talk about that and hypothesize. But I'm trying to give Village a big sidestep. I know enough about it that I'm kind of satiated. I do want to know when it's coming out. I feel it's March or April. I don't know why, but I think it's March or April.
I mean, they could drop it quite early, but it does make you wonder.
Imagine they're like, tomorrow.
And you can go home
and download it right now.
No, go on. Steam open game.
Can you imagine they did that? Paulo, right? But
Love
all
it.
they did was, it is available exclusively on PlayStation 5 right now.
I would be breaking into Paul Kaczynski's studio and stealing that PS5. I'd be like, Mark, get in the car. We're going to torch someone's house and take the PlayStation.
What do you think the chances are of a Resident Evil 4 remake?
Oh, apparently that's rumoured to be coming, so they might announce that as well.
You wonder if that might get announced?
Yeah,
That could be quite cool. And what we do know, as far as I'm aware of the village, is that it is going to be first person, we think.
Yeah,
so it's going to be a sort of sequel to 7.
It's a full-on sequel to 7. It continues Ethan's storyline, and the twists that we've seen already make you gasp. I'm like, the shock. So I'm very looking forward to it.
I'm quite excited about that. Paulo, any sort of thoughts yourself?
I remember when Blunderboy first came on the podcast and we did the breakdown of what your history is, your console history and all that. I remember you talking about a Resident Evil game that came out. I have no idea when, but it was meant to be online or something.
That was Outbreak, yeah.
So is that what you're saying? You're hoping this is a kind of
I hope they've gone back and they're revisiting it, and then the new gen and doing what they want to do back in the day of the PS2, and it was really limited. It was like one of the only online PS2 games. There was that, Final Fantasy 11, and some first-person army game.
Okay.
Well, was it SOCOM? SOCOM, I think it was.
Yeah,
I ended up trying it. SOCOM 2 or something I had, and it had voice chat, and it could recognise the characters in game, could recognise your voice chat. Not very well if you had a Scottish accent, but that was the plan. Well, there we go. That's quite exciting. So be sure to check that out tonight at 10 p.m. You'll be able to find it on Twitch. I assume Capcom's own Twitch account will definitely be showing it. There's a number of Resident Evil streamers as well. So I noticed today that Xbox, yesterday, Xbox announced a number of new games that are coming to Game Pass. There's a few rather exciting ones coming. So on the 21st of January, which is today actually, you've got Control on PC. It was console only. It's now available on PC. Paulo is a big fan of Control.
Really? As is Blunderboy.
Yeah, very good. The DLC is good as well.
I'm quite excited about this one, Desperados 3, which is sort of isometric, sort of not quite top-down, sort of like role-playing game, a bit like Wasteland or the original Fallout games, but it's a brutal cowboy game. Looks quite cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Desperados 3, Donut County, and Outer Worlds are all coming out today. They're all out now.
Outer Wilds?
Outer Wilds, sorry.
Do you know, I thought that Outer Wilds was already on Game Pass. Is this just PC only, or because I'm pretty sure it was on console already.
Are you not getting mixed up with Outer Worlds now?
No, because I thought they were both on. Because I've looked at the Outer Wilds before and I thought, okay, it's a possible streamer, but I would only have done that if it was on Game Pass.
I might have removed some of the details here, so I'm not exactly sure. I know the rest of them are basically, these ones are all available on Android phones and on console and on PC, so maybe Outer Wilds was only available on one of them before.
Okay.
But I can't be sure. Cyber Shadow's coming on the 26th of January, so that's Tuesday. And then, very exciting, I'm very excited about this. This is really the first big release of 2021. The Medium is coming to Xbox Series X, Series S, and PC. You're going to be able to play it on day one with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. This is the game, I think this is made by Bloober, if I remember correctly, Bloober team, who of course are friends of the podcast, donated Layers of Fear to us during our during one of the save points, the horror one many years back. This is the one that's sort of a dual reality. You're playing as a medium who's trying to solve this awful sort of crime or mystery, and some of it takes place in the living realm, and some of it seems to take place in the sort of realm of the dead. It looks really cool, and the wonderful thing if you have Game Pass Ultimate is you get to play it straight away. That's a game that's going to be 60, 70 quid. You get to just play it for free, included in your subscription, and see what it's like. So I'm quite excited to try that out. Also on the 28th, this is quite cool as well. The Yakuza Remastered Collection is coming to Game Pass. This is available on console, PC, and Android phones, and it's the remastered editions of Yakuza 4, 5, and 6. So that's a whole lot, and there's a whole bunch of Bethesda titles that are going to be coming a little later in the year. You're talking all the Wolfenstein games, all the Elder Scrolls games, all the Doom games. So, I mean, Game Pass is just going up and up and up in value. It's really quite something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Note, do you know that the real life Yakuza are on the verge of extinction?
Is that right?
This is what YouTube keeps telling me. It's giving me hundreds of videos. Let me know.
That sounds.
As if I'd applied.
That sounds like
Just
exactly
in case you
what.
want to fix it, Paul.
But is it some sort of like fundraiser where they're worried about the SEO?
If they get an OnlyFans,
Is it like you know those adverts you get for like the Siberian tiger or the Great Lynx or something? Is it?
And another thing
For just £2 a month, you could save one Yakuza warlord.
Oh God!
but careful, mate. Hears.
The Bethesda one's exciting me. I keep forgetting that Bethesda's now part of Game Pass, and I know it's a long way away, but that could be Indiana Jones Day 1 on Game Pass. Do you know what I mean?
I think there's a real possibility of that. I think it'll be interesting to see what will happen with things like Elder Scrolls 6 and all that. I think it would be a real shame if all of Bethesda's games went Xbox exclusive, but it would be entirely up within Xbox's and Microsoft's own. It'd be completely up to them if they wanted to make it that way. They bought the company. I'm not convinced they would. As I said before, if it had been the other way around and Sony had bought Bethesda, you bet your ass they would have been Sony exclusive.
Yeah.
But Microsoft seem a wee bit less bothered about all this sort of stuff. So it might not be a hard and fast rule where all Bethesda is, but we'll need to wait and see. I have a feeling that maybe because Elder Scrolls has been coming for so long, they might not make that one platform or Xbox exclusive. I don't know why. I just have this sort of feeling that they might not. However, I do have the feeling that maybe these ones that they have since announced, the ones that have been announced after the merger, might be more likely to be, and Indiana Jones would be included in that then. So I have a feeling that there'll be people of deals and would already have been sort of done a long time ago for Elder Scrolls 6, I imagine. Maybe not hard and fast rules, but sort of agreements here and there. So I think there's a good possibility Elder Scrolls 6 probably will come to PS5. However, Indiana Jones just been announced recently. I think it's more likely to be Xbox exclusive, but this is purely me speculating here, so we've got no real way of telling. Could be interesting.
True.
Speaking of interesting, Paolo.
No, I'm not interesting, thanks though.
Things are going to be changing up a little bit here on the Nearly Men channel.
Changes.
Time to face the changes. Yes, all you wonderful folks out here. This is more specifically aimed at the Twitch viewers as opposed to the podcast listeners, but the channel is moving up a little bit because I know there's people that listen to the podcast and watch us on Twitch. So, it's good to let you know. And we're going to be changing our schedules a little bit on this channel as of the 1st of February. So, first thing that you need to know is that Thursday night, podcast night, multiplayer night, nothing's going to change. We are going to continue to stream on a Thursday night. The podcast will always be here, and so will the multiplayer games. That's always going to happen. What is going to change is we're not going to be doing our specific nights anymore. So Paul's not going to be doing his Monday, Blunder's not going to be doing his Friday, I'm not going to be doing my Wednesday as of the start of February. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to stick to our Thursday nights on the podcast, and we're going to do 2 events further to that. We're going to keep them updated and let you know what we're doing, just to do things a little bit more interesting and give you guys a bit of free time and not have to feel you've got a bit of watching the Daily Men again. It will also allow us to focus ourselves a little bit more to the channel and make sure that that we're producing as good a quality content as we possibly can. So what we're going to do is, of course, podcast and the multiplayer will stay the same, but our events for February, we've already decided, and we're going to start on Friday the 12th of February with our first event. It's going to be handled by the wonderful Blunderboy87.
That's me.
And we're going to be doing a Jackbox night, and we want you all to come along and play some Jackbox with us here on twitch.tv/The Nearly Men. And then at the end of the month, on Friday, the 26th of February, ourselves and our special guest, Queen of the North, are going to play some Ghost of Tsushima. We are going to do the raid. We are going to do the raid, the big event, which we've been looking forward to. We're going to have to get ourselves leveled up and ready to do it. The super high-end, difficult event, which is the raid. So that will be our plans for February, as I said, and March we'll do that. We'll make sure we have these in advance to let you know what we're going to do and how it's going to work. So that will be a lot of fun. But I'm quite excited about it, boys. I think it will give us a chance to really have some fun with the channel. But at the same time, just tidy things up and focus things a little bit.
Nice. The wee Maverick's just asking chat, I'm just going to address this. She says, will we still be on our own channels at the usual times? The answer is yes, wee Maverick, and possibly more. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, our channels are separate to the Nearly Men schedule. So Colin, Gary, myself, we're all separate to the Nearly Men channel. We're just talking about the Nearly Men channel.
Yeah.
What it will do is it will also give us the opportunity to possibly move our own schedules around a little bit. The great thing about our own individual channels and the Nearly Men is that they all sort of work together quite well anyway. A lot of the people who watch myself on my channel come to the Nearly Men as well, likewise with Paul and with Blunder as well. So it's just one of those things, but I think it gives us a bit more of a structure which will work a little bit. When we started this during lockdown, everyone was stuck in the house, and we were very conscious of trying to put as much content out there as possible to entertain people and just give you something to watch and give us something to do. Now, unfortunately, we're not really in a position where things are much better in the UK here at the moment, and of course a lot of our friends in America as well. So people are in the house, but lives are getting a bit more used to being here now, so there are other things on, and we're very conscious of that. And we've also got our own commitments as well, so it just focuses things in a little bit. With that in mind, we're very, very grateful to the wonderful subscribers that we have that support us here, and we wanted to sort of address the perks a little bit better. So we have worked out our sub perks and tiers, and I'm going to run through them very quickly for you. So the first one, Tier 1, all you lovely Tier 1s out here, you are now going to be part of the Nearly Man Nexus. That will make you a producer of the podcast, which of course you've been before. You will of course be supporting the podcast, and you will have your names on the credits as a producer at the end of every podcast. You of course get your emotes and your badge, and of course there's no adverts. The next tier up, Tier 2, that is now known as the Nearly Man Alliance, right? And here you become an executive producer of the podcast. And what you will do is you will get your name included in the executive producer list at the start and the end of every podcast, and it will be read aloud by the host and enshrined forever in the podcast. And you, of course, will become a channel VIP, and you'll get your emotes and badge flares. And then finally, there is the Nearly Man. Or Nearly Men, sorry, forgive me, Nearly Men. This is Tier 3. This is a bit more pricey, so this is only if people are feeling incredibly generous. But what you'll get here is you'll get a section of the podcast branded with your name. For example, it would be the new releases in association with Nearly Men, Steve Stevenson.
Steve Stevenson
Again. He's very generous, is our Steve Stevenson. And on top of that, this is a one-time only, but the first time that you sign up as a Nearly Man, you will get an item of Nearly Men merch, most probably a t-shirt. So there they are there. On top of that, I see Bri asking about the Nearly Men rap and all that. There might well be the odd event where a rap might appear as well, but we'll wait and see. But it won't be a regular occurrence.
We could talk Colin into having a rap night, perhaps. And he just raps for the whole night.
That will be Colin's special event.
I mean, that would be sick to use the vernacular of them super cool rappers like myself.
Lost it.
So there we go. There's the headlines really. You of course we've got all the various tiers: the Nearly Men Nexus, the Nearly Alliance, and the Nearly Men. And of course, we're going to be shifting. There won't be a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday anymore. What there will be is every Thursday on the Nearly Men channel, and of course, there will also be two events. Important thing to let you know as well is occasionally, say there's a big PlayStation announcement, or say there is a big Xbox announcement, or something like that. Then of course, if there's something on and we need to cover it, we will cover it as well. But it's just we're just trying to streamline and focus to make sure that you guys are getting the best quality content you can.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And who knows, as well, guys, I'm sure you'll agree that if we think of a stream that might work better on the Nearly Men channel, so whether that, I don't know what that would be, but something that, I don't know, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. So what do a specific challenge with two of us or whatever, rather than maybe cross-streaming, we might do it on this channel or whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of anything off the top of my head. Shouldn't have spoke until I thought that through.
Well, that's it. If a big sort of like multiplayer game came out and it seemed like a good thing, or if a dev gets in touch with us with the Nearly Men and wants us to stream something, which does happen from time to time. We get sent codes. We will do that on the Nearly Men channel. You will be able to see it there. If you're in our Discord, if you're on our social media, then you will get notified about that. This is a minimum number of streams that we're giving you at the moment on this channel. As we said, there might be more. There probably will be more. We just want to make sure that that you guys are getting good quality stuff, and I think that's the easiest way to do it. So quality over quantity.
Beautiful.
What do you think? Shall we have some freebies?
Freebies. That's a new one.
Good, that's very good. Here we go. As I'm now an Xbox owner as well, I think I hate these even more, but I did actually add them to my library today. On the Games with Gold, for the whole month of January, you've got Little Nightmares, a horror adventure. From the 16th to the 31st of January, so you've not got too long left in this, you've got Breakdown. This is a first-person action game. It's an Xbox 360 game. This is, in fact, I think it's an Xbox game. Anyway, it's backwards compatible. And then, of course, this one's pretty cool. We've got from the 16th of January to the 15th of February, you've got Dead Rising, the Zombie Carnage. It's a special edition. It's a 2006 remaster or something, I think it is. Looks pretty good. I do like this game. It's very old. Every time I play it, I'm a bit like, oh, this feels quite an old game, the way it's designed. But it looks great, and it's very good fun when you're actually chomping guys up. If I remember correctly, my thing I hated about it was the save points, and every time you died, you had like 3 hours to replay. Because you can die very quickly between save points, and there's no autosave.
No.
PlayStation Plus, for the month of January, we have Maneater. This is for PS5 and PS4. This is a shark RPG.
No.
On PS4, we've got Greedfall and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So they're all pretty good games, pretty decent standard kind of quality. So yeah, pretty good. Any jumping out at you there, Paolo?
No, I mean Maneater's great fun. I did enjoy playing that. Greedfall, I would love to have played. I just don't think I had the time for Greedfall. Lots of promise. You played a lot more than me, but I like the idea of it, and I like the kind of slightly mystical feel of it. I've not played any of the new Tomb Raiders, so I think I now have all 3 of them in different formats. So one day I might play through all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know the Xbox ones that well. Dead Rising's the only one I know there.
Blunderboy, any of them jumping out at you?
I highly recommend Little Nightmares and Dead Rising on Xbox. Little Nightmares is a beautiful horror adventure game, and it's not like violently graphic horror. It's the kind of horror that slowly builds, and you're like, oh. So it's very good. It's a platformer as well, so it's got some fun, perky puzzles. And then the end is stunning, and the sequel's out soon, so I'm looking forward to that. If I ever get a PS5, I'll be downloading Maneater because I've added that to my library.
Good.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it's alright. Greedfall, pirates, magic pirates, not my thing.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider's the middle one, isn't it?
No, it's the
No, it's the
second
third one. It's
the third one. So
third
Rise is
one,
the Tomb Raider's the second one. Is that right?
Second one, yeah.
Okay,
right.
Yeah. She rose then fell really quickly. Did
I think the shadow one, she's in like Mexico or something, isn't she?
She's in a jungle somewhere.
I think it's a sort of Mayan sort of
I've
thing.
completed it.
I know you have.
It's that good.
I know you have.
I'm like, like, if this is where you want to go for it.
I know that this will not make an awful lot of sense in the podcast, but a lovely hello to our lovely readers in from Arcade. Lovely to have you here. Now, I saw Sherry Bobbins requesting, how do I get more Colin? We were set a challenge, or sorry, not more Colin. She doesn't want more Colin. Nobody wants more Colin. She wanted less Colin, forgive me. We were set a challenge to try and get ourselves around the 60-minute mark. So I'm working on a time frame here, but you're actually going to get a bit less of me here because I'm going to throw it on to the guys because we're going to go into the games that we were playing. And we started off with the wonderful Ghost of Tsushima. On our last Thursday, we played Ghost of Tsushima Legends with the wonderful Queen of the North, who I see just appeared in the chat as well.
Queen of the North.
Paolo, what was your thoughts on another fun experience with Legends?
It was great fun. It was really good. It was lovely to have 4. I think, is that the first time we played it with 4? I think online. You know, like as in 4 people we know, and it was great. Queen of the North's wiping the floor with us, really. Funnily enough, it was Queen of the North and Blunderboy who was kind of carrying us a bit, Colin.
Yeah, and they were both lower level characters than us as well, which is disappointing.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were trying, you know, we were looking out for them and all that jazz. That's the thing, that we were distracted. But
14 resuscitations in one match. That's like, yeah, get up, you two.
Listen, I was under-leveled, and it's very difficult to tank if you're under-leveled, okay? It was telling me that my gear was low, right? And I'm in the thick of it, fighting everybody. I was taking a lot of hits I couldn't really cope with.
That's because you don't know how to block and parry. I think we've discovered my column is going down so much.
There is a lot to do with that, yeah.
I think it's great. I love it. I love how simple the Legends mode is and how repetitive it is, but you still kind of want to keep going. You still want to play. Because I think it's because I love the combat. I've said this before, but the combat's just so fun and so satisfying. It's very weighty combat, and you feel it. I feel you feel it in your body when you're playing it. It's really satisfying for me, and I think that's what brings me back again and again.
I like it. It's just it's satisfying. Like jumping off the roof and stabbing someone in the head is so much fun. Yep. And then off the back of that, like just like fighting and then going invisible. I think they took a great base game and just tarted it up so well to play into everyone's different styles. It's fun. Time goes by so quick in it.
Yeah.
Like it flew by, and I was like, "Oh no, not now." The one thing I would say is, I want more maps.
Yeah.
I
don't
just want more,
but
I want more. I want more of it. Just keep bringing it.
I think they should keep working on it because it's good. I think they've got a real good thing there.
It's got that really fun gameplay loop where you just, I'll just have one more game. I'll just have one more game. And as Paolo said, it is quite repetitive, but it seems to have, it's got that Destiny sort of looter thing where you're constantly looking for better numbers. You're constantly going, I'm going to get a better gear. I just know I'll get some better gear next time. I'll have one more and see if I can get a better sword, or if I get this or I can get that. And it's really satisfying. And then, of course, once you get something, you're like, I'm going to have to try this now, so I'll have one more game.
You also want to get that step further as well. I quite like the fact we weren't getting to level 20 because it meant at the end of the game you wanted to go further.
It's a hard game. There's a real kind of sort of difficulty spike when you move up. We were playing the previous things we played it on the bronze difficulty. When we moved to silver, that was pretty fearsome. I shudder to think what gold's like.
Woohoo!
Of the raid.
Well, exactly the raid. Well, we've got a month to find out. So that maybe covers Legends for now. But Blunderboy, I know you have been playing a lot of the single player of Ghost of Tsushima. What are your thoughts?
So you thought I'd finished this? I had never finished this game. I finished Act 1. No. So after the total oopsie of forgetting about it, and I was like, right, probably should go back because I did enjoy it. I've spent the last 3 days just going through it, doing every side quest, doing the main story, and it has been phenomenal. Like, I was crying. Was I laughing? I was kind of laughing. I was so invested in the story. It creates conflict in the most natural way because it's all based around the honor system of feudal Japan. It just works well. The characters work well. The side stories, and like I did a bunch of side stories that Paul hasn't touched yet, and I'm glad I didn't spoil anything. I just said to him, "Have you done these ones yet?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "They're just everything has such a satisfying way of telling its story in its own way." It's wonderful, and I was saying to Paul today after I finished it, I was like, this game made me feel the way I wanted to feel about Last of Us 2. For me, I know people are different, but this for me is where I wanted Last of Us 2 to take me, and it caused Last of Us 2 never, and I was just really annoyed by the end of that. This, I feel like it's kind of balanced the karmic scales of big name games, because I don't, as you guys know, I don't go into I didn't fall into hype. I didn't even know what the game was about until you two started playing it. I was like, I should maybe play that. And again, I think that's maybe why I don't get burned quite so often with big games either, because I don't kind of get into them. Same with Cyberpunk. I'm loving that, but mine runs on PC. Ghost.
Yeah, yours runs. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. A lot of big games, because I don't go into the hype, I think I go in a wee bit more. Okay, what you hit me with was I think sometimes people go into big games with big expectations. And sometimes they fall flat for folk. But no, I loved it. It's just beautiful. The last bit of the game, like I was playing with tears in my eyes, and it was so satisfying. And then the very end, the big thing happens, and I was talking to Paul, and I was like, I have to pause. I have to walk away and go think. I was like, and I've got a meeting in a minute, and I'm going to be late for it, but I just need to go away and think. And then I had to join my meeting with my camera off because I was pure greeting. I was like, sorry, I had technical difficulties. My camera's not working. Like, 2:00 in the afternoon heartbreak was not expected on a Thursday. But I'm glad I went back, and I'm glad I went through it, because I would happily bounce right back into a New Game Plus and do it all again.
Oh, yes.
Like, it's phenomenal. It's stunning. It looks good. It sounds good. It plays good. Take me back to Tsushima.
You're a big fan of it as well, Paolo, yeah?
I am indeed. I really loved it. I really, really loved it every step of the way. And I love how varied the game is. I mean, people can kind of complain about the repetitive missions of it, but I love just if you're done with the story for the moment and you want a break from the story, there's just so much you can go and find and do, as there is in all these open world games. But it's varied. It's got a difference to it. And the whole setting, I love the setting. There's a reason I love the Western genre so much, is because it's based on samurai. So it's just an extension of that, and it scratches so many itches for me, the game. And I think it always comes back to the combat feeling so good, because if you're not enjoying the combat, the last thing you want to do is come across a group of baddies on the road and have to fight them. Whereas if you're loving the combat, you're almost looking for that wee crowd.
I run up to them. So great, it.
And it's just so good. You can do the standoff thing, which is great fun, or you can not do the standoff thing and just fight them normally, and just the different ways you can approach certain missions, whether you're going to be stealthy about them or whether you're just going to go in guns charging. And what's lovely is, a lot of these games steer you towards the stealth thing and want you to do it stealthily, whereas because this is samurai, there's a big thing of it being, you walk up to them and you look them in the eye, which would suit your kind of style, Colin, of just going in guns blazing, essentially. And it's so good that it lets you do both, and there's no penalty for
doing one or the other.
Yeah. And as Guy says, it looks lovely and all that jazz.
I'm not quite as sold on it as you two are. I like it. And I played a bit of it the other day and got a bit further. I haven't finished Act 1, and I kind of feel that once I finish Act 1, it might really click for me. I'm not as sold on the combat as you guys are. The combat all just feels, the controls feel all the way wrong way around for me, and that is a tricky thing for me. I also, this is just a thing that has always been a problem with me. I don't have great reflexes timing wise. That's why I've never been a sensationally good sort of like Warzone player or anything. I can't really do that super fast twitchy reactions to things. And I find the whole parrying system quite difficult at times, particularly when you're doing the duels, because it doesn't feel like a fight. It feels like a dance mat game to me, and I just don't really like that element of it. I understand why they've gone down that route, but I find it a bit. I don't know. It just feels that I can't play it. It feels like that I'm at a disadvantage because I don't have good timing for stuff like that. And it's quite infuriating. I must have done a duel like 20 times in a row, and I was getting really angry. I was getting really angry at it, and I was like, "This doesn't feel fun. This doesn't feel fun because I cannot get this timing. It's not as simple as just get good. I struggle so much to get the correct timing on these parries." And in the end, you're sort of like having to cheese it, or you're not really. They're setting up for a sort of very cinematic fight, but if you can't do it to that cinematic standard, then it just gets really stunted. So it's not perfect for me, and I'm not really in love with that element of it. My other issue with it is the game looks glorious, but I compared it to looking at like a beautiful oil painting or a lovely sort of like Japanese vase. The world looks gorgeous, but it doesn't really feel that alive. Again, not a major criticism. It's very much a stylistic choice they've gone with, but I'm not as enchanted and I don't want to explore that world quite in the same way that I did with Red Dead or even something like Horizon Zero Dawn or something like that. It just doesn't feel quite as alive a world. But at the same time, it's still very beautiful, and where I do play it, I enjoy it. But I don't always go, I can't wait to play some more Ghost of Tsushima.
See, I think I was a bit like you up to the end of Act 1, and then when I started Act 2, it just picks up. Like,
well, I have heard people say that, and I'm hoping that that's the case, but that's not exactly a great virtue in a game. That once you get through the first 15 hours or so, it starts to get good.
But then it's just like that everyone said about Red Dead, and I guess it might be for you. For me, I was that just keep going. When you get to this bit of this game, it'll be good, and it never got there for me. It might be the same for you, but this it might just be that.
I hope not, though, because I do want to really like this game. I really do want to like it.
I think you can charge through and finish the story without doing side missions. Really, I mean, you're going to have to do a few showdowns.
Yeah.
So just keep calm.
I think by the end of Act 1 or into the Act 2, the gameplay opens up a wee bit more, so you get different stances and things like that. And that the thing is, you need to be on the right stance to parry the right attacker and things like that. So once that opens up a bit, it might loosen up for you a wee bit and just give you a bit more of a. It might
do. I'm going to play a little bit of it, possibly later on tonight. I'll see.
I love it.
And because I'm right at the end of Act 1, I know I'm right at the end of Act 1, and the story's sort of building at a crescendo at the now. I think it will.
It's beautifully melodramatic. It's beautifully melodramatic. You'll not be disappointed. Story-wise.
I played the game the other day. I was quite surprised with it. It was an Xbox One exclusive game. This was Rise: Son of Rome, which I had always quite fancied playing when we first saw the Xbox One announced. I thought it looked great. I was like, I hope that comes to PlayStation 4. It did not. It's very nuts and bolts. It's not really doing anything majorly revolutionary, but it's incredibly cinematic. I like the story. The story wasn't like particularly inventive in the way it doing. It was quite predictable the sort of way it went. But I have to say, I enjoyed the time I spent with it, with the exception of the most annoying and frustrating final battle I've seen in a game for ages.
Oh, really?
I've made it through the entire game barely using the parry system in this game, not having to rely on it at all, and then you get to this fight where you have to parry or you can't do anything. I ended up having to cheese it on attempt about 25 on stream. It was a really odd and bad bit of game design, I think, when one particular thing seems completely at odds with the rest of the game, like when just a very strange difficulty spike appears just at one moment, you're like, and I was very frustrated about the fact I'd made it through the whole game, basically never parrying once, and then and then you get to this fight where you have to use the parry, and I'm like, well, if you're going to be so insistent in using this, then maybe you have to sprinkle this in a wee bit more earlier in the game. It was pretty frustrating, but apart from that, I did enjoy it, and as you can see, it is beautiful looking for a game that's it was an Xbox One launch game. So how many years is that? 8 years, 9 years? It really does look gorgeous. So that was a lot of fun. And I also jumped back into Stranded Deep on the Nearly Men channel just the other day.
Back in the world.
Checking out the new update. Look at Paolo using the ancient footage. The ancient footage.
I know, back in the day.
Unbelievable, Paolo.
Crabs.
I streamed it nice and fancy for the Nearly Men yesterday, and Paolo's laziness.
I didn't get time to grab it today.
But it was great. It was really nice being back on the island again and having a lot of fun with it. And lots of folk reminiscing about the early days of lockdown when we used to sit and watch and play Stranded Deep together. That was a lot of fun. Boys, what else? Anything else you've been playing you want to discuss? Time is marching on, obviously.
No, I've just been playing the usual of Red Dead and Sea of Thieves, FIFA, Flight Sim. Love the Flight Sim. Sunday Social's my favourite stream, I have to say.
Yeah, it's great.
Love it.
I think it's everyone's favourite stream.
Is it?
Well, you know.
Shame.
No,
same. Just more Dead by Daylight, hanging out, getting murdered by serial killers is always fun. And
Fixing
I was
generators.
Fixing generators. I get my certificate in mechanics anytime it's lockdown. And then I went back to Resident Evil 2 remake because I was just missing Raccoon City. Although I had Nightmare, my PC decided it wouldn't run it. Thankfully, original Stephen, friend of the Nearly Men, figured it out. I had to go into like the coding and change a number.
What?
I mean, I'm gonna get an ICT certificate as well. I'm just gonna.
Did you have too many filthy mods on it?
I don't put any mods on Resident Evil 2. Thank you very much.
Right.
I do not put a single mod, but no, I had to change a number from 11 to 12, and then I had to change another thing, and then it worked, and I was like, oh, I'm amazing. But no, it's just nice to go back to Raccoon City and blowing things out with a rocket launcher.
Woo. Well, the listeners have been in touch on Facebook. Jamie Simpson got in touch, said, "Hi guys, managed to bag a PS5 and get my scam refund back."
Yay!
That's right.
Yay.
Jamie had a real bad time with a PS5 pre-order and did get scammed. So very happy with that. We're delighted to hear that. Playing Miles Morales and Immortals, Phoenix Risings, and Pathless, all brilliant. Stay safe and keep up the good work. You stay safe too, Jamie. Thank you for getting in touch. Jamesy42 been in touch on Twitter. He's been playing Red Dead Online. Had a great Dead by Daylight session with much hilarity,
so funny.
Which was caused when I mentioned that I had slippery meat. I quickly pointed out that it was a perk. Grinning face with smiley eyes. Was that
I don't know if that's an emote.
Was that supposed to be an emote?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was a stage direction that Paolo put in the script for me to do. Let me see, I'll try that again. I quickly pointed out that it was a perk.
Dead by Daylight confirmed.
Yeah. Also played some Rogue Company with Call Mac 42, which was a lot of fun. Certainly better with your mates. Excellent. Ooh. Gav the Lad has also been in touch on Twitter. I've been playing Red Dead Online. Finally saved up enough gold bars to get the Bounty Hunter license. Excellent. It's having a wee renaissance. A lot of players playing some Red Dead Online.
Do you mean wonderful Virgins?
Well, it can be both. Both are applicable. Viva La Hazy has been in touch on Discord. After 55 hours, I'm still playing Valhalla. Jeez, oh man. Viva La Hazy, soldiering through these epic Ubisoft games so you don't have to.
I should add that "Geez, oh man" is a quote. That's not just Colin reacting. That's
yeah, it was actually said. Poor Viva La Hazy's been having a hell of a time with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I actually really like it, but it has got a bit of the old Ubisoft syndrome, which we're not surprised about, where there's just far too much to do. And you're sitting there just a bit overwhelmed. It's not as bad as Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because I'm still playing Valhalla, whereas...
These are the guys you trust for a Star Wars game?
Well, that's giving me the fear, by the way. It's giving me the
flag.
fear.
Padding.
Yeah. Rick Shurian's been in touch on Discord playing Skyrim, lots of it, and some War Thunder. Sherry Bobbins has been in
Sherry
touch.
Bobbins?
Rather
Sorry.
bleakly saying the game of life, it's too hard. Can't get past the level I'm on. You think you're finished, and then bam, another fire pit to get across. Jeez, oh.
So, there we go.
That's a cheery note to finish on. Thank you for that.
Don't belong here.
I'm just awkwardly laughing now. But if you guys, we'll do it in a bit. We'll do the the sting in a wee second or two.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll do it in a minute. So we've got some new releases. We'll fire through these as we always do. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming out today on PS5 and Xbox Series X. We've got Ride 4. That's a skateboard game, yeah? I think it is.
Well, bikes is not motorbikes.
Oh, it's motorbikes.
Motorbikes.
Okay. What was the skateboard one? Was it maybe it was just skate? Gravity Heroes is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox and Switch. That's tomorrow. That's the 22nd of January. We've got Solus 128 coming to PC and Switch on the 25th of January. Encodia. That's coming to PC on the 26th. As is Stronghold Warlords, also coming to PC. The Dark Eye Chains of Satanav. What, like Chains of Satanav?
Getting revenge.
Just like a really angry Tom coming back from the grave. That's coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox systems, and Switch. That's on the 27th of January. The Dark Eye Memoria is also coming on the 27th. That is also coming to Switch. They're obviously part of the series. We've got Tohu, which is coming to PC, PS4, Xbox, Stadia, and Switch. That's on the 28th. We've got Sword of the Necromancer. That's coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. That's also on the 28th. All of these ones are on the 28th. We've also got Monstrum 2 coming to PC, Disjunction, which is coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch. And then on the 28th, we have The Medium, which is, of course, from Bloober Team, as I said earlier. It's coming to PC and Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. That will be available day one via Game Pass Ultimate. Gods Will Fall is out on the 29th of January. That's PS4, Xbox One, PC, Switch, and Stadia. Bonkies, whatever Bonkies is, that's coming PC, PS4, Xbox, and Switch. That's on the 29th. And on the 2nd of February, on the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, you're getting Control Ultimate Edition. What else we got? Cultist Simulator is coming to the Switch on the 2nd of February. Outriders is also on the 2nd of February. That's for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, and Xbox One. Well, that was a lot. Odysseus Cosmos and his Robot Quest is out on the Switch on the 4th of February, and we've also got Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood. That's coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series S, PS4, and Xbox One. That is coming out on the 4th of February as well, and that is your new releases.
Beautiful.
So let us know, folks, if there's games out there you're excited about, what you're playing, what you want to play, what you're hoping for the year, and of course, what you're hoping to see at the Capcom thing tonight. You can let us know. Here's how you do it.
We'd love to hear from you. Find us on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram, where we are at Nearly Men, or email info@thenearlymen.com.
There we are. So, Paolo, we've got some stuff from the chat, I believe.
We do indeed. Mimi Cattails was saying at the start of the stream, "You're all wusses for horror." Ha ha ha. I want to stand up for Gary. Aye, Blunder Boy.
Great exception there.
Aye. Evil Monkey says Indiana Jones dies with Harrison Ford. You can't put Harrison Ford and dies in the same sentence, though, Evil Monkey.
Just chance and fate.
See, on my birthday, a number of years back, he had that plane crash and he crashed in the golf course, and I found out about it at like 15 minutes past 12 on the morning of my birthday, right? Or like the
time.
And I was like, Harrison Ford's going to die on my birthday. This is just the worst day ever.
Oh
but he pulled through because he's just the best.
Can we just say how Harrison Ford died and Colin's like, it's going to ruin my birthday?
Well, no.
Not Harrison Ford or his family, Colin.
It's not going to... Well, it wasn't his birthday. But
it's his life.
I was just like, that would just be awful. I don't ever want Harrison Ford to die, but I certainly don't want him to die on my birthday.
Evil Monkey's just piped in saying... Indiana Jones dies with Harrison Ford. He says those are Harrison Ford's words to Chris Pratt.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Dan Satosa says, "Oh, that sounds like a saucy schedule shake-up, and we're here for whatever you guys give us." That's nice, Dan Satosa. Also, the schedule
schedule, and I was like, "What?"
Well, it can be. Also, on the schedule change, Wee Maverick says 2 questions. 1, do I remain Paul's wife?
Nope.
And 2, how do I become the Nearly Men's biatch?
That's tier 4. You just get 2 Twitch accounts and sign up both of them to tier 3.
Yeah.
Good. Like it. MJ Play Games says, I'm nostalgic for the earlier days of lockdown and the heady days of the Nearly Men rap.
Oh, if I had my hat, I'd put it on sideways and get right into it right now.
Seems like so long ago, doesn't it?
It does, I was saying that.
Talking about the number of streams we're going to do, Evil Monkey asks, can we make them fewer, at least with Colin? I believe there was a number of requests for that in the chat.
I believe so. I am not surprised.
And finally, MJ Play Game says, oh my god, I'd love a Tsushima Dance Mat game.
You've basically got one. It's called the whole duel system in the game.
Don't hate the game because you ain't got no rhythm.
Oh yeah.
Well, no. I mean, I'm not denying I don't have rhythm, but I'm not saying I hate the game either. But you know, it's ableist. It's ableist against people with no timing. So we, as I said, things are going to change. Things are going to change as of the 1st of February. We're going to move to the new schedule, but we are not deserting you next week. So we are indeed going to be streaming on our own individual days for one last time. So Friday for your last
2 last times. Thank you very much.
Sorry, 2 for you. Forgive me, Blunderboy. Right, first of all, what are you doing tomorrow, Blunderboy?
Tomorrow night we're going to do some Phasmophobia, so feel free to drop by and come and explore some haunted houses with me. It's been a while, so we're going to get our spook on. Woo!
Of course, yeah. Apologies. I'll come back to you if you know what you're doing the following week as well.
Oh, I'm not that organised.
Oh, it's not decided, right? Okay. You'll find that out in the multiplayer night.
Yes.
So, Phasmophobia tomorrow night, Friday 22nd of January with Blunderboy and friends. On Monday, for the last ever Paul Kaczynski night, what are you going to do, Paolo?
Do you know, I'm going to try Rocksmith. Rocksmith's like Guitar Hero with a real guitar, so I'm not convinced it's going to work. So I'm not putting all my bets into it, but I'm going to give it a go off stream and see how it works, and then that's maybe what I'll do just for a bit of fun.
Sounds great. On my last day, we'll do the afternoon again. We'll do Wednesday afternoon, and you know what? Let's do some more Stranded Deep. We're having a lot of fun with it the other day.
He has to go back. I
have to go back. Yeah. I have also started watching Lost, thanks to everyone's suggestions. Myself and Sherry Bobbins are watching that, so that's good.
Love it.
Yeah. So that's that. And you know what? We are under the hour. We are
Beautiful.
under the hour.
Beautiful.
In your face, Kaczynski.
Done.
And Sherry Bobbins, who was very snidey about it in the Discord just before we started as well.
What?
So we did it. Any thoughts, Paolo? Any last thoughts from Paolo or Blunderboy?
Keep your horn on your halfpenny.
Good. Okay.
Remember to charge your control pads, unlike MJ Play Games, who 5 minutes out of their stream was like, my control pad!
Yeah.
Dear me.
Awkward.
Dear me.
She's a baby streamer though, so we can forgive it.
Just
it once.
Yeah, so that's that. Listen, folks, thank you so much for listening. We will be back all 3 together on Thursday. That will be for the multiplayer. And then the next episode of the podcast, episode 80. Episode 80, can you believe it? 80 episodes of this. 80 episodes of this. Unbelievable. That will be on the 4th of February at 8 p.m. So please do stick around for that. Look after yourselves, stay safe, and keep on gaming. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.